Assalamualaikum. Today we present about AM transmitter and receiver. Objective. The objective in this assignment are: first, to investigate an application on how communication from transmitter and receiver operate. Second, to design an AM transmitter with low level of amplitude modulation and super heterodyne of amplitude demodulation. Third, to design block diagram and circuit diagram on AM radio for broadcasting with 5 kHz to 10 kHz of AM frequency band. Fourth, to able transmit audio signal using the available AM radio frequency. Fifth, to able use the theoretical calculation to solve frequency, bandwidth, and equation and transmit power of AM radio. And the last, to overcome the interference for improving the study of signal strength. We look into our introduction. A communication system is a collection of individual telecommunication network, transmission system, relay station, tributary station, and terminal equipment usually capable of interconnection and interoperation to form an integrated world. The components of a communication system serve a common purpose, are technically compatible, use common procedure, respond to control, and operate in union. In electronic and telecommunication, a transmitter or radio transmitter is an electronic device which produces radio wave with an antenna. The transmitter itself generates a radio frequency alternating current, which is applied to the antenna. When excited by this alternating current, the antenna rejects the radio wave. Communication is the act of conveying intent meaning from the one entity or group to another through to use mutually understood set of simulated rules. The basic communication system has transmitter, the subsystem that takes the information signal and process it prior to transmission. The transmitter modulates the information onto a carrier signal, amplify the signal, and broadcast it over the channel. Second, channel. Channel is the medium which transports the modulated signal to the receiver and act as the channel for broadcast like radio, may also be a wiring system like cable, TV, or the internet. Third, receiver. Receiver is the subsystem that takes the transmitted signal from the channel and process it to retrieve the information signal. The receiver must be able to discriminate the signal from the signal which may using the same channel, it being called tuning. It also amplifies the signal for processing and demodulate to retrieve the information. It also processes the information for reception. Example as loudspeaker. Next, we're looking on the methodology block diagram. In the block diagram AM radio transistor, we have carrier oscillator into the buffer amplifier, into the modulated power amplifier, into antenna, then modulated signal source, the second source, into the audio amplifier, and audio amplifier will give signal to modulated power amplifier and into the antenna. Then we explain that carrier oscillator is the carrier signal which lies in the RF range. The frequency of the carrier is always very high. Second, we have buffer amplifier. The purpose of buffer amplifier is twofold. Is to match the output impedance of the carrier, and we isolate the carrier oscillator and frequency multiplier. Third, modulated signal source. When the audio signal been transmitted into the radio station, the audio driver amplify the amplifier into the voltage of the signal. The application is necessary to drive the power of the audio amplifier. Next, audio amplifier is to raise the source signal amplitude to usable minimum to prevent the terminal of noise and any distortion. And last one, modulated power amplifier. This is output stage of the transmitter, the modulated audio signal and the carrier signal. The power application are applied this modulation. The modulation takes place at this stage. The power amplifier also amplifies the power of the AM signal to the required transmitting the power. This signal is finally passed into the antenna, which radiates the signal into a space of transmission. Second, we look into block diagram AM radio receiver. From antenna will give the signal into RF amplifier and into the mixer, which is other source of the local oscillator give into the mixer. When they combine, they will into IF amplifier. IF amplifier into AM detector into audio driver into audio power amplifier into the sound. RF amplifier. We look at element RF amplifier. RF amplifier select to desired signal frequency and amplify their voltage. Second, the mixer. The mixer is put another input from local oscillator and RF amplifier and combine into different frequency into the IF amplifier. IF amplifier is used for amplification and selectivity. AM detector is demodulated the AM wave and convert it to the original information signal from the carrier oscillator. Audio driver and audio power amplifier is to amplify the recovered signal.